Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and it's day 21 of the Countdown to Christmas card series with Michele from Scrap Secrets. And our theme for today is a flip book by Sam Calcott, I believe. I will try to remember to link her channel down below. This was Michele's theme. I had never heard of this before, so I had to watch a video to see what even this was to do. It actually wasn't very hard. I think I made it harder than it needed to be. So this piece of cardstock here is 11 by 8 1/4, and I'm scoring it at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4, and then flipping it and turning it. Yeah, that's the same thing. Turning it and scoring it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And then the smaller, skinnier strip is 11 by 2 3/4, and I'm scoring that at 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4, and 9 5/8. And then for the little squares that I used to decorate, I think I cut those down to 2 3/4, and I really wanted to cut them at 2 1/2 so I could have more of a mat showing around. I think that was my mistake, but regardless. I also made cutting out the center of this. You want to cut out the 2 center squares. And if you just fold the actual piece of cardstock in half, it's much easier to do. So I'm going to show you the hard way to do that. So I am just going to trim out those 2 center squares and then fold this up and then fold up the middle strip and get that attached in. And then I will begin decorating this card. I do believe when I get to adding the ribbon in, I really should have watched her video multiple times. I only watched it once, wrote down the measurements, and just went for it, and this is that result. I don't think I attached the ribbon correctly. I feel like it should wrap around the entire card, but I'm not 100% on that. It works. It keeps it closed on the right-hand side, but I feel like it's a little wobbly in the back, so I'm not sold that I actually did that part correctly. So like I said, this was my first try, and I definitely, in true fashion, just wung my way through it. So as I am working on adding in this centerpiece and beginning to decorate the card, I just thought I would talk to you a little bit about the series. I cannot believe we are on day 21 of 25 projects. So we only have 4 more, which means that Christmas is in 2 weeks. Oh boy. So I am joining Michele from Scrap Secrets. We have done this for 3 years in a row. I will link her channel down below so I can see, because she is familiar with this project, what she created with it. And like I said, I'll list her channel down below. Our videos are Mondays and Fridays at 2 p.m. Given Michelle's schedule, she may or may not be on the same day, might be a little bit later, might be the next, over the weekend. She gets them in eventually. She's just got a crazy work and school schedule right now, so it's harder to stay on a tight schedule. So once we are finished with the card series, we typically collaborate once a month on a random theme that we do for that month. So we'll go back to that schedule, I assume, once we finish up with this. I am doing a giveaway at the end of this, so the more videos that you comment on, the more likely your chance to be entered into the drawing, because I'm going to just select one video and take the comments from that video and select the winner. So the more you comment, the more lucky, more chances you may have to be entered. I still need to get my Christmas shopping finished, done. I was helping Mom wrap today, but there's so many more things to be done. Anyways, I have lots of ideas. And as a crafter, do you do this, that you think all year long, oh, I'm going to give handmade gifts and I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then the holidays get here and you're like, oh, I literally have 3 days to get all of these things put together, because that's what I do every year. And I stress myself out when there is absolutely no need to do this to myself if I would just plan better throughout the year. But here we are, last minute as usual. I am just adding in all of my pattern paper. I didn't do any stamping for this card. You definitely could. You could stamp into these little blocks. You could stamp on a separate piece of paper and add it in. I opted to go with just decorating with pattern paper and stickers for this particular one. I have some really cute, I think they're not Lawn Fawn. I can't even think of the company right now that the stamps that I used are from. They're completely adorable. It's a set that I've had for a while, so I used that same sticker set for the entire thing. And then this strip of white cardstock, I'm adhering to a longer piece of pattern paper to be for the front of my card. That way, as you do have score lines that you can see, so this will cover those up. And then I have a piece of plain white cardstock that I'm also using for the back panel, where you could write a message on this card if you wanted to. And so I'm just adhering some ribbon to the left and right sides of this, and then I will cut down some white cardstock and cover up the edges of the ribbon so that you can't see that. So I had to cut that out because I had to measure what these were, and I didn't write it down. I apologize. It would be half of one of these squares. And you could also add another section to the left of that and the right on the other side, but I opted to leave them white. And then I'll add my front and back panels so that I have a space to decorate after I trim my ribbon and get that out of the way. So once I get the front and back on, I will tie the ribbon and trim the ends so I don't have as much hanging around. And then once I do that, I'm going to add all of the stickers. I left in adding the stickers to the front, but then I did cut out adding the stickers to the insides. You can decorate them however you want. These would be great for any occasion. You could definitely customize them with different pattern papers and themes and stamp sets. You could really, the possibilities are endless, and it's a really fun fold. I did struggle here figuring out how to close it, but once you pay attention, it's actually quite easy to do. So I'm just going to tie this up and use those stickers to decorate the front. I used a little girl and a little boy at the bottom. I added a wreath, but before I added those, I thought I would really like a string of lights, because in the stickers were the light bulbs, but I didn't have a stamp set to do the string, so I'm just going to freehand draw it on with my a little thin black pen that I have. And I just did some loops, nothing, too fancy. If I can do it, you definitely can do it. And then I will add the bulbs in there. It's really annoying me that I cannot think of this company. Anyways, you are all probably screaming at me saying, you know what it is. And it's so cute. And my brain is literally not even... Somebody tell me the name in the comments, because I clearly can't remember. But like I said, this sticker pack is what I used for my entire decoration. But like I said, you could do this for any occasion. These would make really cute birthday cards. I think I might have to do that for my nephews one year, because I think they would really like them. If I did them Pokemon themed or something like that, they would enjoy that. They're at that age where they're into all of those things. And then once I get all of these little hearts and stars put on to give it a little something, because it is a lot of room, it's tall to find to decorate. So if you had something that went lengthwise, that would be much easier to fill up space with. And then I added all the stickers to the inside, and that's the front, and here's the back where you can leave your message. And that is my project for today. I hope you'll check out Michele's channel to see what she created. And as always, I hope that you have a great day.